When the would-be clown prince of crime ends up seeking out one of the Dark Knight's very own teachers, what sinister secrets could he unlock? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman issue number 143, a continuation of Joker Year 1, and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue left off, we see a young Batman in the proto-Batcave still trying to get to the bottom of the mysterious missing Red Hood gang leader. Alfred is there too, and I only bring it up because it's just kind of nice and refreshing to see Alfred in the Batcave again. I still can't believe he's been dead for so long. Doing some good old-fashioned detective work, Batman uses some of the acid from Ace Chemical to test out on a cadaver, realizing that after only a few seconds, the acid is able to destroy pretty much all pigment in skin, meaning that Batman is looking for a man who's been bleached pale white. Now, a guy like that is obviously going to stick out like a sore thumb, so when the Dark Knight takes to the streets and starts knocking some heads in the bad part of town, the sleazy bartender from the last issue is all too quick to point Batman in the direction of Brian, one of the former Red Hood gang members. Only, here's the thing, Batman isn't the only one on the hunt for the Joker right now, as it seems that the new Red Hood gang is all too invested in rubbing out their old boss. The Hoods had actually grabbed Brian and set a trap for the Joker at his apartment, and there's a good chance they probably would have killed him were it not for Batman jumping on in to make the save like he did. And once again, like we saw in the previous issue, when the Joker makes eye contact with Batman, he completely freezes up. His terror around Batman is completely palpable, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it except for maybe turn tail and run. It's after that we transition on over to the far future, where we see an older Batman trying to get to the bottom of the strange new Joker plague that has hit Gotham City, turning people into Joker drones whenever they laugh. All the evidence has once again led Batman to the water outside of Ace Chemical. It's there he finds a severed hand with a old police ring, and a GCPD revolver, the kind that the cops haven't actually used in years. Clearly Joker is trying to tell Batman something, but he just can't seem to put two and two together yet. Worse still, it's at this moment Joker decides to come out of the water, like some sort of horror movie slasher, to berate Batman, saying that he's losing it in his old age. Also, you know what, I thought people were being a little over dramatic in the last issue. Saying Joker in that Matrix device looking like Joker on the cross was a little on the face when it comes to the biblical imagery, but you know what, I take it all back, because in this issue, Joker only wears a red shroud like the one that Jesus wears in a lot of different biblical paintings, so you know what, I guess you all won this round, commenters. Now, back in the past, we see Gordon round up the Red Hoods that Batman had dispatched, and we learn that one of them is actually an on-duty cop, meaning that the Hoods are already well inside the GCPD. Gordon tries to rattle this dude's cage, but he's absolutely not budging. Officer Manny, the guy we had met in the previous issue, who we knew to already be dirty, makes it seem like he's gonna help this guy escape. Only the second this guy makes a move, Manny shoots him, showing that he was actually setting him up from the get-go and implying that Manny too is also in the pocket of the Hoods. Gordon is furious and clocks this guy in the face for making such a mockery of the law, only for him to be put on suspension by Commissioner McLeod, who again is also almost certainly involved in all of this as well. We just don't know how deep it runs yet. Now, the latter half of the issue actually sees the Joker hunt down Dr. Daniel Capito, one of Batman's old teachers, a master of the mental arts who knew it was only a matter of time before the Joker found him again. Why? Because, well, it's just human nature to be ruled by emotion. Even crazy people who seem like they act with no rhyme or reason can actually be very predictable. And in this case, Capito knew that the Joker would do whatever it takes to not be afraid anymore. A task that the not-so-good Doctor is more than happy to undertake, partly because he still has an axe to grind with Bruce Wayne Batman for rejecting his help all those years ago, and also because he's a scientist at heart who wants to see what he could learn by helping perfect the Joker and turn him into Batman's true polar opposite. A brilliant mind but a sick brain locked in combat forever with a man with a brilliant mind but a broken heart. And wouldn't you know it, the Clown Prince takes to Capito's teachings like a clownfish to water. Shutting off your emotions, using your brain to block out pain, that's really easy for the Joker, even if he kind of enjoys the pain part. These panels are great too in the way they reflect and contrast Batman's training under Capito over in the Night, which you should really read if you haven't. But the major revelation, the thing that everyone's going to be talking about after this story comes out is actually the second lesson that Capito chooses to teach the Joker, and that is how to create, manage, and utilize alternate personalities. Yes, just like what Batman does with Zur-En-Ah, implying that he got the idea from Capito himself. And even though they don't really give this process a name in the story, it should all sound very familiar to you, because what Capito is basically teaching the Joker here is to unlock the secrets of Super Sanity, a concept created by Grant Morrison for their Batman run. The idea basically being the reason that the Joker can seem so radically different between appearances is because he's actively hacked his mind to cycle through multiple different personalities and use the one that would be most advantageous at the time. In short, 3 Jokers. There's the fun-loving and impish clown that we all know and love, the much more sinister demon, as well as the more mysterious Death. So much for the criminal, the comedian, and the clown, but I guess who needs alliteration? Elsewhere, Batman and Gordon meet up to compare notes. They also make a very fun reference to James Gordon Jr., reminding us when exactly in time we are. Gordon is losing hope, him not being nearly as hardened to experiences in Gotham as he would be, but Batman says he has the perfect plan to smoke out the Red Hood's gang leader. From there, we once again smash cut to the dark future, where we can see an older Batman digging around in the old GCPD building looking for the one piece of evidence that will blow this case wide open. The Joker is still tagging along next to him, by the way. He's managed to rig his heart with a device, meaning that if he dies, all the Joker drones will end up killing themselves. Joker also says that he wants a front row seat to when Batman eventually fails. It's at the GCPD building. Batman actually ends up running into none other than an older Catwoman who's looking great for her age, by the by. She came here not to unravel the mystery, but actually to try and safekeep all the members of the Bat family who have been Jokerized from hurting themselves or anyone else. Meaning that Batman has even more of an invested personal interest in solving this case, and soon as if he actually needed it. Now, back in the past, Joker finally finishes his training under Capito. He sits in silence with the man for a little bit, before eventually saying he can't believe he was ever afraid in the first place, and that now it's kind of interesting. It's like him and Batman are long separated siblings, and that Capito is like their father. Only too bad for Capito, he didn't know that the Joker absolutely hated his father. In fact, after all this time, Capito thought that he was dissecting the Joker, learning his secrets, when in reality, the Joker was playing him like a fiddle, using his own emotional response, a need for revenge, as the perfect in to learn all of his secrets and eventually kill him. In fact, he might not even have been afraid of Batman to begin with, he might have just made it seem like he was. And what does the Joker ultimately do after slaying Capito? Well, he helps himself to a suit in his closet, complete with bolo tie like the one the Joker wore in his very first official appearance. And it's on that note right there the comic ends, everyone. And so that was Batman issue number 143, Joker Year 1 Part 2, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed this one, even if I did call quite a few of the twists. Hell, between Zur-En-Ah and now the unofficial reintroduction of Super Sanity, Zdarsky's run on Batman really has ended up being a major love letter to the Morrison years, am I right? This also means that Zdarsky didn't so much as write a new origin for the Joker as he remixed and remastered a lot of pre-existing material, which I think is always the way to go. Especially when dealing with such long-running characters like Batman and the Joker who have had so many different origins between them. I also love this idea too that Joker needed to conquer fear to truly become the embodiment of chaos, especially when we stop and remember that so many of Batman's villains are described by him as a superstitious and cowardly lot. I'm also really interested in this whole dark future story and how it might end up connecting to the rest of the Zur-En-Ah and failsafe stuff that has become kind of the backbone of this series. And honestly, I really hope they're able to connect the dots and stick the landing, because if so, then Zdarsky will have written not one but 2 excellent brand new origins between this and the Night. Overall, I think I feel comfortable giving this one an 8.5 out of 10. Really pleasantly surprised with this series and can't wait till next week where we get to see how it all concludes. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.